this room for the same reason I'm in this room, and that's because we want to see Fayetteville thrive. And that you believe that the opportunity is there for that to happen. We must embrace what makes Fayetteville physically and socially unique and distinctive to be able to reach our true greatness, is my opinion. Nationally, we're experiencing a realignment of American lifestyles and a realignment in our whole consumer ethic. You see, long-term, we are going to be a less consumptive society, and that generally bodes well for downtowns and small towns such as Fayetteville. People want to simplify their lives, shorten their commutes, downsize their homes. These trends are all favorable for Fayetteville. Welcome. Hi. Now, the challenges that face us, we're in the midst of a recession, and this is likely causing, reduced city revenues. This is reality. While the demand for our services is going to increase, especially with an increase in population to the area, an increase in cost will continue to put pressure on the spending side of the ledger. So to overcome this, there's going to be belt tightening, and by being very strategic, though, and for us to select our priorities very carefully, we can plan for when the market does swing back in our favor and be able to accommodate for new investment in the community. So, with that in mind, I moved here about 5 months ago, and I sensed the need for an avenue for the community to get engaged in the development of Fayetteville. Certainly there are a multitude of groups, and it's a very positive sign that there are civic organizations, and I'm impressed by that, and I really enjoy being a part of those. This one in particular, though, it is focused on economic development, and I see it as an avenue for the community to have a voice. So, any comments or reaction to that? Is that a fair assessment to say that that void was in existence?
Yes.
I see heads nodding yes. Okay, well, I'm glad I'm not crazy. All right. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time because we're running a little bit behind with all my rhetoric, but we are honored to have two folks here from the Create Buckhannon group. So they have been through this process, and they have been engaged in creating a group that's interested in their community and planning specifically. And they're going to speak to us about the obstacles that they've overcome, what they've gone through to form the group. And I have to my far right, CJ.
How you doing?
And Rich is right here to my right. And I don't know, you guys, if you're going to tag team or...
We're just going to start and see where it goes here. Rich will give you a little background into how we got involved with this.
And I think one thing we want to know is kind of what you're looking for in detail this evening. So I don't think either of us want to talk that much at the beginning until we kind of give you an opportunity to tell us where you think you need to go. I have been a member of the Planning Commission for Buckhannon for many years, but the Planning Commission never really did any planning. It was kind of one of those things that met once every 4 or 5 years and supposed to meet quarterly, but nothing really ever changed. Until actually July of 2004, there was a law passed in the state that said any entity, whether it be a city or a county, that has a zoning code, which Buckhannon does have, must submit a comprehensive plan in 10 years. It should be 2014. So I don't know where you folks are, whether there is a zoning code in the county or in the city. But that was kind of the mandate, and I remember in particular I started to put together what some of you may know as a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats within the city government side in December of 2005, and had it printed up and distributed, and was hoping for things to come back, and then we had this little thing called Sega that happened in January 2nd of 2006, and those plans disappeared. So it was actually 6 or 8 months later I tried to, okay, let's get this thing going again. And we tried unsuccessfully with a formal planning commission to get people to divvy up the job, and nobody really did it. There was one group of 4 or 5 people that actually met. We had divided up into subgroups, and subgroups were supposed to meet, report back, and one subgroup met. The others never had a meeting. And out of that subgroup, we kind of got a core of 4 or 5 people, CJ, myself, Alan Tucker, John Scott, a couple other folks who were instrumental over the time. And we spent about 6 months, actually, putting together a plan. How do we create a plan? How do we do this planning? Because it was obvious the city planning commission really wasn't going to happen. It wasn't really going to produce anything. We did some research, and I brought some things with us tonight, all of which I'm going to leave with you. We found a book that's actually put out by the American Planning Association called Small Town Planning Handbook. And this basically became our Bible. It tells you how to do everything every step of the way.